A Royal Air Force Chinook helicopter is screaming across the Afghan desert. A fierce firefight has broken out between a squad of US Marines and the Taliban. 6 Marines have been wounded and need urgent medical extraction. But in just a few minutes' time, the pilot of the Chinook will be shot in the head, and the lives of the Marines and the Chinook crew alike will be in jeopardy. It's the 10th of January 2010, Helmand Province, Afghanistan. US Marines and the Afghan National Army are engaged in a ferocious firefight with the Taliban. 6 Marines have been wounded and they request helicopter extraction so the soldiers can receive urgent medical attention. A Chinook helicopter, callsign Tricky 73, is scrambled from Camp Bastion. It's being flown by the captain, Flight Lieutenant Ian Fortune, and co-pilot, Flight Lieutenant Doug Gardner. The Marines are just a few minutes flying time away, but when the Chinook arrives on the scene, the firefight is so intense, Fortune has no choice but to abort and hold back at a safe distance. Tricky 73 holds for nearly an hour until an Apache gunship arrives to provide suppressing fire. Taking advantage of the fire suppression, Fortune brings his Chinook down to the landing zone to collect the wounded Marines. At 30 metres long, the Chinook is a huge target. Fortune and Gardner feel exposed and vulnerable as they watch the Taliban renew the fight with increased aggression. A few small arms rounds do hit the Chinook, but thankfully cause no major damage. Unfortunately, Ian Fortune's fortunes are about to turn against him. As they lift from the landing zone and set course back to Camp Bastion, they don't know it yet, but they're racing straight towards a Taliban machine gun nest. As they come within range, the machine gunners open fire, and the rounds smash into the Chinook. Inside Tricky 73, things are bad. Fortune is fighting to regain control of the helicopter. The bullets have completely disabled the forward transmission and flight stabilisation systems, making the aircraft extremely difficult to fly. In the back, the vibration is making it nearly impossible for the medics to help the wounded Marines. But it was the final bullet that would do the most damage. Entering through the cockpit window, the bullet smashed into Ian Fortune's helmet. Deflected by the night vision goggle rails, it fragments, causing a deep gash in his head. Thankfully, the deflection slows the bullet, meaning the wound is not fatal. Nonetheless, the round stuns the Chinook pilot, who takes a few seconds to work out exactly what's happened. He would later say, "And then I saw the hole in the windscreen, and I thought, I think I've just been hit in the head. I think I've just been shot in the head, and I've survived. Well, good stuff." In the back of the Chinook, the door gunners, Flight Sergeant Tony Sutherland and Sergeant Paul Day, return fire to suppress the Taliban. Together, the pilots manage to guide the stricken helicopter back to Camp Bastion, where the ambulances are waiting to collect the wounded Marines and take them to hospital. Unbelievably, Fortune is able to walk off the aircraft to the waiting ambulance. He requires just a few stitches and escapes serious injury. Thanks to his actions, all 6 Marines will also survive. In recognition of his outstanding bravery, Flight Lieutenant Ian Fortune is awarded the Distinguished Flying Cross. Make sure you hit subscribe for more incredible stories from history. If you liked the video, please give us a thumbs up and let us know what you thought about the Chinook story down in the comments.